All right, good morning, everybody. Today's date is September 20th, 2023. This is a regular meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority being conducted in New York City with video conferencing in our Albany and Buffalo offices. Present today are Chair Lily Fan and Commissioner Edgar De Leon. Staff in attendance, General Counsel Shannon Kearney-Sarfo, Juan Herrera from Licensing Bureau, and myself, Secretary Roper. This meeting is also being live streamed on the Authority's YouTube channel. The next regular meeting dates will be October 4th, October 25th, and November 8th. While in the meeting rooms, please silence your mobile phones and take any phone calls or conversations outside. In New York City, the public restrooms are located right outside on the 3rd floor. When you approach the podiums in either room, please do not touch the microphones. Items will be called in the order they are signed in, first in Buffalo, then Albany, then New York City. When your item is called, please approach the podium and identify yourself. Representatives should also identify their clients who are present with them. Chair, do you have any announcements?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God. With great sadness, I announce the passing of one of our licensing clerk. Sunny Stewart gave almost 47 of her life to our agency, and she passed away on September 7th. And our agency is her life. She was at work as late as Tuesday, September 6th. And she went home. She was sick, and the staff was very supportive of her. And her lights dimmed from there. Sunny was our union rep. As chair, I had a lot of contact with her, even though it's been a very short amount of time. She is, she's a clerk, but she was really much more important than that. She had a big personality. Her name is Sunshine. She is our sunshine. We would throw office parties, and she's always a big part of it. We miss her. And I know some of you work with her and know her, and so there will be information about memorial, etc. I'm sorry. No, I'm good. Now that I got that done, we're good. This is hard for us. She's by far our longest working employee. 47 years you can't recreate that. It's every day. All right.
So first item is in Buffalo. That is 1129. It's ADEL NASR, DBA Pass-Through Food Mart.
I'll consultant for ADEL NASR, but first let me offer our most sincere condolences on the passing of Sunny.
Thank you.
Mr. NASR will not be appearing this morning as he has COVID, and we would like to reschedule.
I don't think, where are you at?
Just give me a second to read this here. There's some confusion. There's some information about a Class B felony, and then there's also some information that might not ultimately be the conviction? Do
That's
you know any-
correct.
Has
That's
that
my
case been,
understanding of it.
has that case been disposed of as of yet?
My understanding is that it has, and we've supplied the information we could from the courts. I was not the original consultant on this application. I was brought in later into the process. So we were able to gather some documents from the court and submit that to you.
Yeah. There is a certificate of disposition for a misdemeanor. So as we all know, it's not uncommon for charges to be downgraded.
That is my understanding of what took place, that the charge was reduced to a misdemeanor and we supplied the certificate of disposition.
Okay. Then on that basis, I could vote to approve.
Okay. And I'll vote to approve as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. There's no other items in Buffalo. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. If you can please leave up the stream till about 10:30, and then you can sign off. Thank you. So next, in both Albany and New York City, is 1147B, CM Wine and Liquors LLC.
Good morning, Lorenzo Angelino here with the applicant, Dami Chalubadi, and her husband is also here, who also works at the store.
So here's the situation. So they were here last time and we actually granted the store. The opposition felt like they were not given an opportunity to be heard because they were not notified of the hearing. And so they already have a conditional approval, the applicant that's in Albany. And this is for us to decide whether to reconsider and for the opposition to be heard.
Okay. I would vote for reconsideration and I would allow the opposition to be heard.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll vote for recon as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Man.
Yep. And I think there's opposition in both Albany and New York City. So if both can put their names on the record. Whoever wants to go first.
Were you guys
Sure.
heard last time?
No,
No.
no one from opposition because they weren't notified.
Oh, I see.
So they,
Okay, but they showed up this time when you notified them.
yes.
All right, fine. Go ahead, sir. You want to tell me what store you own?
Yep. Mr. Folklore in Albany. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and introduce
But-
yourself and your client.
Sure. Good morning. For the record, Mayor Fakori. To my right is Gurinder Singh, owner, president of Orange County Wine and Liquor. I also have the authority for behalf of Washington Wine and Liquor and Liberty Street Liquors.
Wait, say that again. Tell me the name of the stores.
So to my right is Gurinder Singh for Orange County Wine and Liquor. I've also been hired to oppose this application for Washington Wine and Liquor, Mrs. Kaur, Kaur. And I got an email for Liberty Street Liquors, Mr. Falcone, also.
I don't understand what it means when you say I got an email. What does that mean? Does that mean that they retain you or?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, got it. Okay. Go ahead.
So for our opposition, we basically it's what's killing us is the distance. The current applicant is moving a mile, 1.2 miles closer toward the heart of the city of Newburgh. They're more going toward the town of Newburgh. Their store, the size of their store will absolutely decimate all these 4 locations who are smaller stores. And just by reviewing some of the numbers, for example, my client, Mr. Singh here, his average losses per month from 2022 to 2023 is negative 21,000. It was a little bit higher than that, so I actually rounded it downward. I gotta just look at the distances. So he'll be 0.5 miles away from Orange County Wine and Liquor. They will be 0.8 miles away from Broadway Liquor, who's I believe in front of you in Manhattan. 0.8 miles away from Washington Wine and Liquor, and about 1.2 miles away from Liberty Street Liquors. So I've seen applications where they want to switch locations. Usually it's across the street or a different part of the plaza or a bigger store. But these smaller stores, the relatively of how close they're moving toward the heart of the city of Newburgh would absolutely, devastate their sales, and we just don't see where it's going to be publicly convenient advantage to bring in a fourth store within a 1 mile radius of all these other liquor stores. So, and also just to mention for the record, according to the U.S. Census, from 2020, April 2020 to July 2022, the actual city of Newburgh went down by 1.2% for population. So there is no growth in the city of Newburgh. You have 4 liquor stores within a 1 mile, 1.2 mile radius, and you have negative sales. So, our argument is we just don't feel that coming closer to the heart of the city of Newburgh would benefit any of the population and would hurt the current small stores who are there. And when we say small stores, I think they're like, some of them are 500 square feet or less. So that would be our opposition.
Matt?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, good morning. First of all, may Sonny's memory be a blessing.
you.
Sorry. It's horrible news. I'm shaking. I'm Robert Romano, excuse me. I'm here with Bajan Singh, who is the owner of Broadway Liquor Inc. It is now currently the 5th closest store. It would be the 3rd closest store if approved. Which is contrary to, I believe you have in your notes that the 4 stores remain the same. It's incorrect. Going back to the initial approval of this 2 weeks ago, there were representations made to this board, which I believe you relied on in making your decision. And I believe those representations were incorrect, to be kind about it. It had been repeated that the move would be a couple of blocks, quote unquote. This is 1.2 miles driving, 0.8 of a mile in direct distance. It's not a couple of blocks. It's many blocks. Obviously, the attorney also stated that there was no opposition to this move. We know now why, so that statement would be inaccurate at this point. The intent, as I believe, of a removal is to relocate in cases where a lease is expired or there's extenuating circumstances where a licensee has to leave a premise and move to a similarly situated location and store. That's not the case here. This is basically moving into an area that already has 6 stores within 0.8 of a mile, if approved, would result in 7 stores in 0.8 of a mile. And as I stated in my submission, that's equivalent to a Manhattan or a Brooklyn density. It's just for a city the size of Newburgh, which was correctly stated just now, and its population is going down year to year. It's been going down annually 0.05% since 2000. The stores are.
So what, do you have your client's sales numbers?
Yes, and I have them. He just had given them to me. I have them on my phone. I can go over them. We have if you'd like, I can hand you the phone or I can read them to you.
Or you can write it down. I don't really want you to read it out loud. Sir, in Albany, do you have your numbers for Washington and for Orange County?
So for Orange County, the numbers, I averaged them out because I went back from sales of 2022, 2023, and again, I rounded downward to give the applicant the benefit, and it's negative 21,000 a month. It's been going down. And with regards to Liberty Street, the numbers, I couldn't give you an accurate number only because when the store was bought, it was a very low inventory. It was $30,000 in inventory. So she increased inventory, tried to promote the business, but their average year to date on Liberty Street was 347,000 in sales, which I know in this business I don't even know if that's profitable at that number. Washington Street also very low inventory, and her growth was compared to increasing the inventory to growth. It just the numbers just didn't add up, and that's what they're nervous about. And their square footage of these stores are very minimal. So to bring in a store, if they
Can I
wanna
just
relocate-
ask you
Yes.
again, do you have the gross sales numbers as the way we request them from the authority for Washington Wine and for Orange County? Do you have the numbers as we asked for them in 19, 20, 21, 22, 23?
I do.
Does it- Okay, if you have them, I'm gonna ask you to email them to Secretary's office,
You can give
just
me
so that we can look at them.
now. If you can just email it.
I'm sorry, everyone, this is taking so
That's
much
all right.
time. We don't have the numbers, so
Okay, can I just like a
I
couple more
know, but
points?
it defeats the whole purpose of this conversation if we don't have the numbers.
Right.
Perhaps if you can write them down year by year, then give it to Paula, who's sitting right next to
Yeah,
you.
exactly. Just take a photo of it, Paula, and text it. All right, while we do that, should we just call the next item and then we can come back to this?
I just have a couple more points. You want them now or later? Whichever.
Whatever the chair would like. You can make them now, I guess, and then.
Yeah,
it'll
you
be
can
easy.
make them now.
Okay.
We can just-
There was a mention, the quote unquote last meeting, there was an increase in size, but only for floor space. If this wasn't such a serious matter, I'd find that funny, actually. This being a bulletproof store,
Who's a bulletproof store?
I had it on your notes,
So you mean the Orange County one or the applicant is a bulletproof store?
the applicant. I had it.
Okay. I don't think they're gonna be a bulletproof. Is the applicant gonna be a bulletproof store?
Yes.
That's what it says on the application.
Yep.
It's still going to remain the same.
Right.
Okay.
And it's, I think, so really when they're saying there wasn't enough room for customers, it's a bulletproof store. You have one customer at a time, maybe two. So it really is irrelevant if that area where customers are allowed in is 150 feet. You're really.
No, they didn't say that. They said it's run down and dangerous.
Well, they also said that. They discussed how they could fit one person with COVID, and then it would increase to 3 without COVID in terms of the number of people that they would allow in the
I see what
store.
you're saying.
And then another point that he had made was that it's like, quote unquote, like a diagonal parking lot in front of the store. It's simply perpendicular parking. There's no that's all it is. It's perpendicular parking. Mr. Singh would just like to discuss 3 quick things, and I think that should be it.
Yes, first, the
If you could-
my name is Bajan Singh. I'm the owner of Broadway Liquor Inc. Just 2-3 quick points. So the traffic to my store and the new proposed store is going to be the same because we're on the same road. The other stores are there on the different roads. They have to, go right or left, but this is same road. The sales figure, yes, is going down. It was up during the COVID, and this year is down. To my understanding, the size of the store is, I think the whole building is about 6,000 square feet or 5,000, and they take in half, and half probably be 2,000 or 2,500 square feet. Right now, existing store has, I observed it myself, it has about 150 square feet, the store. So the size may be 10, 15 times more than what they're proposing, or 20 times. Then the other thing is they're supposed to have a sign on the proposed store showing that it's applied for license. There was no signs. I took the pictures yesterday too. Again, thank you.
Yeah, your council has showed a photo. Do you have any idea what your sales were for 2019?
These are the numbers.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's his client. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Basically, in summation, this is similar to a new store coming into their immediate area, and there's no room for one.
Do we have the numbers?
I'm still,
I see numbers for
Paul, are you gonna-
2022 here. Do you have for 2023, where he is now?
Since
If you could just write it down.
Same as well.
To date, January to date?
I don't get it.
Did you send it?
Yep, they're on the way.
Awesome.
all right.
Okay, let me see.
currently, if you add up the distance between all four stores, you get 17,269 feet. If this is approved, it would bring it down to 10,485 feet. So that's a decrease of 40%.
If we do an estimate, if you take the number that you gave me for 2023, let's say divided by 9, because we're almost at the end of September, and then multiply that by 12, you show a slight increase, I
That's
believe.
what you got? That's not.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No, my apologies, I looked at it wrong.
Right.
Fine, that's fine.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Even taking into
You're right.
account
No, you're right.
holiday.
That's my mistake.
That's it.
All right.
1.6 is down to what?
They don't really have the numbers. And so can the applicant come up?
Is the applicant here?
Yeah, no.
Yes,
they're
they're
not.
right here.
Oh, there you are, I'm sorry.
And are you guys, so you've had the store since when, 2016?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay. And how are your sale numbers?
Sale number?
Yeah.
Yearly around $420,000.
And are you showing growth or no?
No, actually, from 2019, we see not a growth in the number. So the other reason is it's a very, very serious safety issue there. So last year, a couple of shootings happened, and this year one shooting happened. The third item is finding employees is very, very difficult in that store. And we have very little space in the beginning, entrance. So the other thing is parking. It's a residential parking, and if any car comes, it needs to be in the roadside. So the move is primarily because of the safety issue and the employee issues there.
So can you make it bulletproof only around the cashier and not bulletproof around the products?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great.
Around the products, that can you explain?
They give me no glass in front of the products.
Yes. You can have glass around the cashier and protecting the person who's watching the shop.
Mhm.
But can you have the products be accessible to the customers?
We can.
Yes, especially with the added space, it would be a little more convenient. I just wanted to address one point that the other opposition was bringing up. Printing right off the lamp system, there are from the proposed location, there are 6 stores within a mile, this being one of them. So CM Wines and Liquors is within a mile. I mean, it lists 4,400 feet from the proposed location. Liberty Wines and Liberty Street Liquors is really close already, and we're actually moving away from them. So I don't see this as a new liquor store. It's still in the same mix of all these stores. It's just moving within that under mile radius. 'Cause like I said, that's,
It's 8/10 of a mile.
Okay,
I just pulled the numbers right off the lamp system, so that's what I go by.
okay. Are you ready?
I mean, the numbers that I see are decreased. Do you have different, because I can't, this is all I can make out. That doesn't really tell me.
No, that doesn't, it's not.
We really don't have the numbers? You want to hold it over and get numbers?
I mean, we've already held it over. The point is to hear them.
Right. Oh, well, I mean,
Should have submitted numbers
yeah.
in the supplemental if they really thought they had something to show, which they really don't. And
Well, want to take a moment? Can we have just a quick discussion outside?
All right, we're gonna go off the record to have a brief conference with council. We'll be back shortly on the record. We'll be back on the record shortly. All right, we're back on the record after a conference with council.
All right.
The members ready to vote?
Yes, so, I'm just gonna look at this. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, totally.
Okay. All right. So I'm aware of the opposition. Thank you for making time to come today. And I'm going to take your commitment that you are only going to bulletproof the cashier area and that the store is now going to be an open store. And with that, I'm going to vote to approve.
Commissioner?
I am also going to vote to approve.
All right, the application's been approved this time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
All right, so we have a Spanish interpreter, so I'm gonna pull that first. In Manhattan. Oh, I'm sorry, Albany. Paula, there's no one else in Albany, correct?
That is correct.
All right, you can go ahead and sign off.
Okay.
Thank you. So the one moving to New York City, we have 1114 PICHARDO Junction Restaurant Corp. DBA Junction Seafood Restaurant.
1114.
The interpreter's here, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, 1114. Good morning.
Sorry, that's the way. Good morning, members of the authority. Aurelia Tavares, representative here.
I'm sorry, who's the interpreter?
Oh.
Yeah, you can put your name on the record.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm from Language Today.
Thank you.
On September 20, this is for,
I don't know what is it.
That's from Shannon.
Oh, yeah, right. Thank you.
Go ahead,
ready? Sure. On September 21st, the applicant applied for a Queens on-premise license at PICHARDO Junction Restaurant Corp. at 3464 Junction Boulevard in Jackson Heights. The premises includes the ground floor and the basement and a commercial space on the corner of 35th Avenue and Junction Boulevard, a commercial district in Corona, Queens. The Queens Community Board 3 has no objections to the present application or the operations. Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. are the requested hours of operation. Alcohol service will end 1 hour prior to closing, and the kitchen will always be open during all hours of operation. In addition to the changes noted above, the applicant will be on site during most hours of operation. The applicant will be required to have his staff ATAP certified and trained, and he'll be following and abiding all the required stipulation. There are no noise complaints, disciplinaries, or violations with the city or state. The applicant has not been operating with a temporary permit. We believe that upon review of the facts, the members of the authority will be compelled to grant the instant application. We want to thank the Liquor Authority for taking a moment to review this. When he filed this application, it was filed with counsel, with an attorney, and he failed to review the documents and see that someone else was on the application, someone else was on the lease, and someone else was on the assignment of lease for this transfer. You denied the application in 2020, and he reapplied with me in 2021, and we are here today requesting that this application be granted because the prior applicant, the Kicking Crab, had an undisclosed owner, which was B. Yin Yang. The applicant he didn't know, he doesn't speak English, and he relied on an attorney representation to file these applications. He's been suffering for 2 years without a liquor license at the establishment. It is a Latino restaurant, a kind of a diner, but not really. It's, my biggest question is, he purchased a business. He legitimately, went into a transaction. He relied on the attorney's representation, because he was disapproved because of the prior owner's failure to disclose a person who was on the leasehold agreement. He now has, it's the same lease, but we're not taking it as a result of a transfer. This is 2 years down the pipe. And it's almost 4 years really from when he initially started this application. He's here today also to tell you about the economic hardships not having a liquor license has caused the establishment. And the applicant wanted to, I'll have the applicant's son. He's here with his son, Edwin, who helps him at the establishment, and Edwin wanted a moment to address the members of the authority. I understand that you disapproved the license because of the last filing, but this filing is unrelated to the prior operations. It's a separate corporation. He didn't, it's the same lease, but we're not relying on a transfer.
Was he the licensee of 101 Meat Corp?
Yes.
He was, okay.
He had that, it was a grocery store many years ago. So he came into this again when he, at 60 years of age, to get back into this industry, and lo and behold, COVID struck, and everything just has been an economic challenge for him and his family.
And you said you have approval from the community board. Do you have a letter indicating approval?
We submitted the stipulations. I can email you a copy of the stipulations. The only thing that they really required is that he stop serving alcohol 1 hour prior to closing, really, and then and that he have food available at all times during operation. It wasn't anything like, there's no disciplinary or any kind of
Okay, well,
issue.
we need to have that. Can you send me that? Send that to Donald.
Sure, you want me to, I can send it to you from my phone. The
Community board
stipulation.
approval?
Yeah, you want to go ahead and send that.
Okay, I can send that to you. Do you want me to sit down and
The
send it and
gentleman
come
who
back
wants to
up?
be heard?
But yes, Edwin, if you'd like to speak on Father's behalf.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'd like to start off by saying I'm sorry for your loss. It must be very, very difficult. I just recently lost my grandma like a few years back, so it's tough. And I just want to say, like, I work in the restaurant, so I'm here helping out my father, and it's very difficult when you serve people and people like the food and the ambiance and kind of like the whole vibe. And then they'd ask, oh, but is there a beer? Is there a glass of wine? You make daiquiris, mojitos that would go good with this Cubano sandwich, this rice and peas, this chicken. It's wonderful. But so my sadness, I have to turn them down and tell them, look, we've tried. We're still working on it. It's a work in progress. But this work in progress is now 2 or 3 years ongoing. And it's very tough because we've experienced losses. COVID has struck. I mean, COVID really changed a lot of things, and the whole restaurant business was going down slope, and now it's picking back up little by little. But I really think that liquor in the restaurant, beer, wine, would really help out in increasing the sales and the profitability.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for this moment.
We're still waiting.
I can have them, I don't have them here on my phone. I can send it to you from the community board, which I'm surprised because they make us notarize it, so they have it on file. I'll have to send that to you. Maybe can we make this a condition of approval?
No, I need something in writing from the community board.
Okay, I can go
I
there.
should have this ahead of time, not,
Actually, this has been, we met with the community board about a year ago. This should have been here. So yes, we're supposed to be on top of it, but they usually send it up to you guys without us.
we just don't have it. So, okay, so just, can you get it to us and then we'll second call it?
Oh, sure, okay,
Thank
I'll
you.
call, sure. I'll call them and have them email it to you now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Super.
All
I don't
right,
have
go ahead.
All right, next item is 1119, request for declaratory ruling for 266 Avenue.
Good morning, members. Max Bookman, Pizetsky and Bookman, PC, attorney for the petitioner for this declaratory ruling. To my left is David Berger. He is a manager of my client, which owns the property at 266th Avenue. This is what should be a straightforward and easy declaratory ruling on the 200 and 500-foot law. I've submitted a brief.
We're good.
Okay.
Reviewed it.
Unless you're compelled to.
If you read the brief, then that's all I have to say.
This is straightforward. I'm gonna issue a declaratory ruling stating that this location is grandfathered under the interpretation of 200 and 500-foot rule and therefore exempt from consideration of such rules.
Thank you. I agree.
Thank you, members.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Next is 1132 Parkside Liquor Corp.
Hi, I'm the owner. Yeah, but she just stepped out.
Okay, just call it again later, because it's Aurelia's case.
Oh, okay.
Call the next one.
Yep, we'll call next.
Yeah?
Are you ready to go on this one right now, or?
Huh?
Are you ready to go on this one?
Yes, I'm ready.
Ready to go?
So you want to?
Are you in opposition?
Yes.
So wait, we have to do, so if they're requesting reconsideration. If it's granted, then you can speak, but if it's not, you don't need to. So just wait for a bit.
Good morning again, members of the authority. Aurelia Tavares here for Parkside Liquors. This is a liquor store reconsideration. The location is 1859 Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria, approximately 74 feet from the park.
74 feet from the park?
Well, 74 feet from the main section of the park. So on April 18th, Parkside Liquor Corp. filed an application to sell liquor and wine, and it was disapproved on April 27, 2023. It was filed by an attorney, and he failed to notify the applicant of the hearing date or file any documentation, so the license was disapproved. When the liquor authority decides whether.
The lawyer was here, right?
No.
No,
Oh, the lawyer didn't show up either?
no.
Okay. Okay.
So she didn't have an opportunity to present her case before the members of the authority. When the members of the authority consider whether to issue a liquor license, they have several factors, and one of them being is whether the area is adequately served by existing package stores. We believe the answer is no. I did a visual inspection. I went to the location and I actually walked to the nearest liquor store. It's a long walk and this is a pedestrian neighborhood. This isn't a neighborhood where people are driving. We believe that the unique location and the geographic area, 1859 Dismore Boulevard in Astoria, specific to this package store, is that the license should be granted because the population and city tourism initiatives within the parklands attract an underserved population to the area that is not reasonably accommodated by the nearest stores in the area. The applicant's unique location across the street from Astoria Park and attractions make it a prime location for a package store. In 2016, de Blasio invested $30 million in this.
Are you making the argument for the recon? Because we
Yes.
haven't voted to recon yet.
Yes.
I'll reconsider. Go ahead. I'll hear your argument.
Okay, I will vote to recon as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you have opposition? Do you want to hear opposition first?
Commissioner can decide. What do you want to do?
If there is opposition,
Yeah, it's
present?
right there.
Oh, okay. Sir, let's hear from you.
Good morning, everybody.
My name is Satinder Singh Yoga. I'm owner and operator of a Carlink DBA Astoria Park and Spirits. I'm here today to oppose a new applicant liquor license, Parkside Liquor Corporation. There are multiple reasons to oppose this application. Firstly, Parkside Liquor applicant states last time that they're not offering any online sales. However, it does not address my concerns as 83% of my revenue in 2022 was from inside store sale. And secondly, there are 7 existing liquor stores within the radius of 0.7 miles from the proposed location. And there are about 12 liquor stores within the radius of 1 mile from the proposed location. And Astoria community is already being very well served by those existing liquor stores. And the next point, thirdly, is the population. According to New York City Community Health Survey, population of Astoria in 2013 was 201,000, which was dropped down to 156,000 in 2021, which is a quite big drop in population. Shows that there is no need of another liquor store in that area. And the next, the new applicant has the East River on one side and Astoria Park on other side. So they're going to share the existing population for a business with existing liquor stores. So that which shows that a new applicant definitely going to affect the sales of existing stores. As applicant stated that there are events in Astoria Park, but those events are like 2 or 3 times in a year, not on daily basis. As a new applicant has mentioned that demographic of Astoria has changed from a Greek to multicultural population. So in order to make sure we serve the community accordingly, we carry a multinational products. For example, from France, Italy, United States, Spain, New Zealand, Australia, Chile, Portugal, Greece, Israel, Germany, Korea, Japan, and kosher products for the Passover too. And events happening in Astoria Park 2 or 3 times in a year. We carry chilled cocktails, wines, ciders, soju, sake, margaritas, and much more items to go. Furthermore, you might see a little increase in gross sale numbers in that area, but that's not increase because increase in the net profit. It's because of only inflation rate increase. It's very hard to maintain the same profit margin because of inflationary pressure. As for the revenue of my store for year 2023, the gross sale numbers are in same range as the range of as in 2021. Even with that increase in product prices, this clearly shows that business is not increasing, so we don't need another business in that area. I'm still trying to recoup my funds which I made to purchase this business like 2 years back. I spoke to other liquor store owners in the proposed near to the proposed locations. Everyone is under the impression that application has already been denied as there is a new ice cream shop has been opened at the proposed locations. Lastly, I would like to emphasize that I was here last time at the board meeting to oppose this application, whereas the applying party does not show up. So in the supporting document, it was mentioned that applicant was informed of was not informed the last board meeting by her attorney, whereas the representative at last board meeting saying applicant stuck in traffic. I'm not sure what happened, but as far as I'm concerned, I committed to my serving the Astoria community. So I humbly request you all, please deny the application for new applicant. So thank you so much. That's all.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'm ready unless the chair wants to hear more.
No, I'm good.
Okay, I mean, we see that there's a decline in the population in the area. And if there are 12 stores within a mile radius and a New York City mile is roughly 20 blocks, that's more than one store, I think, every 2 blocks, right? Do I have that right? So it does appear that there's sufficient amount of stores in that area.
Commissioner?
I'm not seeing
Um,
any sales that would justify a new store. So based on what I have before me, I would have to deny the application.
If I may, I just wanted to finish. In this presentation, I showed you a map of the area. He is correct. They're servicing that other side. We're taking a risk here because we're servicing the park area. And there's 2 new constructions right around there. In addition, we go out this way to the LIE and that way. They're over here, far away. So, and this is a walking community and a mile is a long walk. Yeah.
So commissioners already voted.
Okay.
And I understand. Chair?
Yeah, and I'm gonna vote to deny as well. The population is going down. I don't see public convenience advantage. Being across the street from a park is not really considered public convenience.
Thank you.
Donald, I had one to adjourn 6 and I'd be
Yeah,
done.
one to adjourn?
Yeah, it's Exotic Lounge for next board meeting. It's a disciplinary. You understand?
Let's pull it out to
It's a number 1122.
11:22.
Call the next item.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Exotic?
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull it. So you said it's 11:22?
Yeah.
Did you get the one for 1114?
For the, yeah, are we still waiting on the community board?
Yeah, I was just on the phone.
But you'll do it together? Okay, yep. All right, next is 1104, Crossroads Plaza Liquor Warehouse Corp.
Get up.
Guessing, oh, here comes the applicant. I'm assuming.
Good morning, members. My name is Mitchell Siegel. I represent Crossroads Plaza Liquor Warehouse Corp., DBA Liquor Warehouse, seeking a liquor store at 381 Tarrytown Road in a revitalized shopping center owned by Acadia Partners, a REIT. It's a big box shopping center, which has Home Goods, BJ's, PGA store, as well as others. And
I believe we have opposition here, so.
I'm sorry?
We have opposition here.
Yeah.
Usually we hear from them first.
Oh, you want to hear from them first? I'm sorry.
No. No.
Yeah. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I take everything back. I'll start again.
Charles Lynn for the opposition. With me today is Westchester Wine Warehouse at 58 Tarrytown Road. Suneet Kararana is here for another store, H&C Liquors, at 111 East Main Street, Elmsford. Helen Yanahai is here. And for C&S Wines and Liquors, 91 Knollwood Road, White Plains, Michael Chan. I also represent First Manhattan Wine Corp. At 353-371 North Central Avenue in Hartsdale. Although the applicant has a White Plains postal address, the application is in the town of Greenburgh. There are 12 active liquor stores within 0.7 miles from this applicant. This is not a pedestrian area. I've attached to my presentation, next is Exhibit A, a survey of the 12 local stores, in addition to a listing of those stores and the distances between them and the applicant. The most significant aspect is one is Westchester Wine Warehouse at 53 Tarrytown Road. It's the same named road as the applicant and just 0.9 miles from that applicant. Westchester Wine Warehouse is a 10,000 square foot box store, having served this area for over 20 years, filed in 2002.
More significant is the fact that the application is for a location in the town of Greenberg. Just 2 weeks ago, on September 6th, full board on Sawmill River Wines was approved for a new liquor store just 2.4 miles from the applicant in the town of Greenberg. The new store being adjacent to a new ShopRite superstore. This was perceived as a destination plaza, anticipated to draw a significant number of new customers beyond the village of Elmsford and the town of Greenberg. It was opined that the COVID sales of alcoholic beverages by the 4 closest stores in the area reflected a rising demand in the area for alcoholic beverages and the contiguous adjoining communities. The new store on ShopRite has a large retail sales area of 4,860 square feet. Crossroads Shopping Plaza has never been a successful development since its inception in the 1980s. Although BJ's Club became a tenant in October 2022, it had always been riddled with vacancies. It currently has 9 vacancies, which I attach as my Exhibit B in my presentation. The plaza is just west of downtown White Plains and east of Central Avenue, both of which are primary retail destinations in Westchester County, against which Crown Plaza Shopping Plaza has to compete against, and it's never been able to compete financially against in this area. The shopping centers in zip code 10607 with a population of only about 6,800 and a population growth rate of -2%. And I set forth in my Exhibit C that paperwork. It should also be emphasized that although the BJ's in the Crossroad Plaza has just opened, there's already a Sam's Club in the contiguous village of Elmsford, and it's been a staple there for over 20 years. As far as public convenience and advantage, there's no evidence that the applicant will be supplying any new lines of products or any new services that the current stores are now supplying, especially with the addition of Sawmill River Liquor, which, when presented to the board, has all these new bells and whistles and providing all different types of product, new product to this community already. We also have Westchester Wine Warehouse, 0.9 miles away, with 10,000 square feet of retail space and on the same street, and again, providing the public with an enormous variety of product already, and has been serving the area for over 20 years. This application should be disapproved or sent back to licensing. I don't think it's just a question of public convenience and advantage, although I think that on its face alone should be a reason for disapproval. The other reason that I'm perceiving is the individual who is the applicant on this application. The applicant principal is a personal injury attorney that practices in Coney Island Avenue in Brooklyn. And on the application, it stated that he will not be having a manager, that he will manage the premises full-time, which physically it's almost impossible to do, having a legal practice as well as being about two hours traffic away from the actual applicant premises itself. In addition to that, I have submitted as Exhibit D a statement from, I went on Google to find out the individual issues or facts about the corporation. And on that Exhibit D, there's a statement from New York State that says that the CEO, Chief Executive Officer, is a Simon Yevdayev, Y-E-V-D-A-Y-E-V. That name does not appear on the application at all, nor Is there any statement as to whether that individual has an interest in this store? I prefaced the distance of the store where the individual works, as well as this other individual, because in my due diligence, I have found that there's an association of about 3 other stores, which does involve Mr. Yevadev family and also the principal, Mr. Hilav's family. The name of the stores are Z Family Wines and Liquors, doing his business as Marteau Liquors. That's in the Bronx. The other 2 are Canarsie Plaza Liquor Warehouse at Avenue D in Brooklyn, and Gun Hill Liquors Warehouse in the Bronx. The reason why I bring this up is that this one individual who was stated as being the chief executive officer, apparently his family, I don't know whether it's daughters or wife, has a liquor license. The sole principal on Canarsie Plaza Liquors is a Samara Yevadeyev. Again, I don't know what the relationship is with this principal. And then the Gun Hill Liquor Warehouse Corp, which is in the Bronx, not only has a Leonid Yevadeyev, but also a Oksana Ikahalov, where they are both principals of the one corporation. Again, I bring that up as something that I think that should be looked at by the authority, especially when, say, as an example, with the financials. I'm sorry.
Can you send an email to Shannon and we will send it to the Enforcement Bureau? Thank you, I appreciate that.
I have it in all sorts of different paperwork, and I
That's fine, you can go to the office and send us in an email. You can send us a phantom letter if you don't want your name on it.
No phantom.
We'll investigate, no less. I think we got the point.
Okay.
Thank you.
The applicant can come back up.
Not sure that was 2 minutes, but okay. At any rate, so.
We don't have a 10-minute rule.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Good morning once again. So I represent the applicant who's seeking a liquor store license at the Crossroads Shopping Center, which, if you look at Arcadia's website, is 423 Tarrytown Road, White Plains, New York. The 4 closest liquor stores which were mentioned are anyway approximately 1 to 1.8 miles away. Westchester Wine Warehouse is in a downridden shopping center. So this would bring a new fresh breath to the area. We want to add just New York wines. We want to add classes about New York wines. We want sponsors of New York wines to come there and teach, not just wine tasting. Again, it's a big store, big box store shopping center. So it's a destination as opposed to really a residential area, because I traveled all the stores the other day. And, most of them are off the highway, so to speak. And this store is not, it's in a commercial area. Some of the smaller stores listed on the list within 1.8 miles or less are more residentially oriented, and they're smaller stores other than the Westchester Wine Warehouse, which is in a downridden shopping center. I mean, there's a bowling alley, and if you want to talk about spaces that are empty or what the center looks like, you can go there. As far as what council mentioned, as far as the ownership, my applicant who's standing next to me, Mr. Ikolov, did own another liquor store which was transferred to his wife 4 years ago in 2018. Okay. As far as he isn't a licensed attorney, but he doesn't really practice anymore. He has a firm with managing partners. He's not in there much and wants to spend more time in this investment. So, and that's the answer to that question. As far as the population, there's 12,000 individuals within 1 mile and 113,000 individuals within 3 miles. Almost 5,000 households within 1 mile and 45,000 households within 3 miles. So it's very dense. And I don't think we're cannibalizing any of the other existing liquor stores with our application requesting a license for this one. Greenberg is not within the first 4 closest stores, and that's not the address of the shopping center. Arcadia is a big realty trust, and it's just not the address. So I'm not sure. And 2.8 miles in Westchester County is a long enough drive that it shouldn't even come into a factor. Let's leave it done.
Madam Secretary, Madam Chairman, could I just add one point?
Sure.
Excuse me.
Sure.
I find it in.
On TV, like Madam Secretary, that's like, where'd that come from?
I thought you'd be impressed. That's why I said it that way.
Makes sense together.
No, it doesn't, Donald.
I just find it interesting on population that the council extends the population to 3 miles, because that goes into my very strong argument. There are 12 stores already, not even counting ShopRite, that were within 2.7 miles. So when he expands the amount of population from 12,000 and goes into 100,000, the answer is yes. That's why you have such a saturation of liquor stores. And if you look at my map, it does take into account 3 miles, which is the very thing that he's stating is the extension of what the population in this area is. So I think that happens to be a very, very important distinction with regards to the how these liquor stores meet the current demand.
I understand. All right.
I don't think mentioning the population has anything to do, whether it's 1 mile or 3 miles. I'm just reading facts off the website. And I think this is warranted. It's in the best interest of the community. It's an up-and-coming center. It's the nicest center out of the 4 locations in close proximity, and will be. And, you know, I don't think we have to worry about BJ's, right? They have thousands, hundreds of units, and the whole Sam Club's there. I don't think that, you know, is relative to the analysis, so to speak.
Okay. Are the members ready to vote?
Yes.
All right, Chair. Or
All the neighboring stores are not showing growth. This is a really big store as proposed, so I'm not going to find public convenience advantage and vote to deny.
And Commissioner?
I don't, I see 2 stores showing significant decrease in sales, population of only 6,800, as was mentioned by council, in the zip code 10607. And the issues with the licensing all raise concerns. So I'm also going to vote to deny.
All right, thank you. Next is 1111 Ocean View NY Holdings LLC and Bridgeton Hotel Management LLC.
Madam Chairman, my name is Sunil Karana from Westchester, and I just want to give my personal condolences on the passing of Sonny Stewart. She actually helped me out, and she was amazing a few years ago. And I just had a personal connection to her. I still have her phone number on my email on my phone, but I just want to give my condolences to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kind words.
Good morning, Chair Fan. Good morning, Commissioner De Leon. My name is Mastin Sansom. I'm the attorney representing the client, Ocean View New York Holdings LLC and Bridgeton Hotel Management LLC. I'm joined here by Atit Jarawala. He is CEO of Bridgeton Hotel Management, as well as Kit Pappas, who is Vice President of Ocean View Holdings.
Before you is an application for a hotel liquor license.
So can we just cut to the chase here? You were here
Absolutely.
last time.
I was.
Okay. So I just want to know a few things. What is different from what we like? What do you want that is different?
The method of operation is actually exactly the same as far as
It's the same. So if I just say I'm approving as I did last time, is that sufficient for you?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So we've done this before, and then they went and operated on a temp, and it was fine. We checked. They're fine. The police is happy with their operation. They're back here because they somehow didn't meet their conditions last time, and they just need to, yeah, well, you can ask.
Yeah, I mean, what I see in the record is this issue of the beach and how the beach is going to be cordoned off. And can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the beach is really, it's actually a pretty short area. And the way that is done, the authority has, precedent allowing certain spaces, these privately owned yet public spaces, to be delineated without permanent physical barriers.
When you say privately owned, is there an egress? Is that in the actual deed or something like that? That a certain.
Well, it's sort of like a side. It often happens where there's a cafe, a sidewalk cafe, and the owner will own part of sort of that sidewalk, but it's also public. It has to let people ingress and egress. This is similar, where it has to be delineated somehow. And the way that it's done now is that there are beach attendants that are on site at all times, as well as chairs that they set up in this particular area that matches the footprint of the building. So it's actually very clear. And Atit, if you want to add anything.
It's very clear where our beach is. It's our chairs are in front of our building, which is on the beach, and that's it. And that's our delineated area.
Is there any signage? Are there any ropes or anything?
Is signage, not at this time, but we would be happy to, if that would please.
No,
the
it's worse
authority.
to add more. I don't think you want to add more. I don't think the town wants us to add more. The roping is a thing. Like sometimes the authority wants them to rope, but the town doesn't want them to rope. It's the same problem we have with the city. Like outdoor,
And I think, yeah, absolutely. Well, I think there are, and if the authority, I'm sure there are other beaches that are under similar circumstances. If the authority is aware of, has a preferred method for the delineation, obviously we're open to considering that.
There is an agreement with the town, right?
Absolutely.
And how does the agreement address that issue?
It doesn't address it. It just says, per the town code, you cannot have permanent physical barriers. So, and that's part of the reason why there are these attendants that are out there, and every morning they specifically place chairs only in spaces where it is licensed, where the guests can go. And those chairs are on the licensed premises.
Are the attendants there for the duration?
Yes.
Respect to receiving, purchasing beverages, where is that happening?
All of the guests purchase the beverages. They go to the counter to get them. They are not served. There's no like beach service, if you will, or even pool service. All beverages and food, for that matter, is purchased by going to the counter to get the food.
Delivered to them?
It is not. It is not, and that's in accordance with the settlement agreement.
Is there a duration to the settlement agreement? Does it have-
An end date for the settlement agreement,
I don't believe there is.
thank you.
Yeah, it was permanent.
It's not intended to end at any expire, so.
Okay. I vote to approve.
I also vote to approve.
We'll take the exact same stipulations they had last time.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you,
I
members.
understand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
midnight, No DJ, whatever that was on.
From
the
the
list.
singer?
Yeah.
And the photographs will be the
Yeah.
same as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much for your
Steps.
With the same steps.
I'm sorry, yes.
All right, I think, we'll call back up. 11:14, PICHARDO Junction Restaurant Court.
You have the letter?
So I have email interaction.
Okay.
It was forwarded. There was no steps. It was just asked to stop service went out.
What does it say? It's an email?
Yeah, I don't have it. Are they gonna send me specifically, community board? Because all I have is something forwarded by you.
So I called her and she said she's not even sure she gave us this. So on the prior application, when they filed initially before it was disapproved, they asked them to stop 1 hour before service. So when we went to the community board, we sent them a signed statement that we would sign, we would end service 1 hour before. That was it. Before closing, and closing is 2 a.m. all the way around.
For clarification, what do you mean? She said she doesn't know if they can even give you steps.
No, she didn't require us to do it this time, just to agree in writing, and we sent it to them, and that was it, but they didn't memorialize it in a stipulation.
I just sent you forwarded the letter, the email that I got. This community board doesn't say anything.
Let me just see, hold on 1 second.
And when I called them, she couldn't even find the file.
I mean, Donna, if you want to go call them.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that if you want to go on a brief recess.
Or just ask someone to call them.
Or do you want me to respond to the email asking?
What do you mean?
With the email for
Yeah,
them,
that's
or
fine.
we can ask Jonathan to
Yeah.
call them, either one.
Either way is fine. Just
Okay.
call the next item, and then
Yeah.
we'll deal with it.
I have one more. Is Mr. Sorry still not here, Jonathan? Okay. So I have another item that needs a Spanish interpreter. I have one more item that needs an interpreter. I'm sorry. Yep. You can.
What
hold on.
number is it?
It's 11:43, La FOGATA Restaurant and Cafe Court.
Okay.
Use everything.
What's
Donna, which number?
It's 11:43.
Thank you.
okay? So can we speak to your client, sir?
Yeah, sure. Oh, and the pictures, great. Okay.
So do you run this restaurant?
Sí,
Do you serve food at the restaurant?
sí, ya hago de comida.
Okay, because you've been visited multiple times and you're not serving food at the location.
Muchas veces que vamos, no me están dando, ustedes no están metiendo comida. Eso pasa mucho. Han visitado y no hay comida.
Algunos días, pero ahora ya todos los días hay comida.
So before,
He has corrected it. I have photographs of the refrigerators full and the kitchen fully functioning and operating.
Okay, but he applied for a class change to change the bar and tavern, so he does not want that now?
He does, but he has a limited bar menu would be the minimum requirement. It's not a full-blown restaurant where you'd sit down and have dinner. It's down to what I would say would be appetizers, nachos, other things, tacos, rancheros. The rest is in Spanish.
There were 2 visits, yeah, and on both occasions, there was no food at all, no oil, nothing in the refrigerator, it was empty, and people were found dancing. So the concern is this really a club?
Yeah, no, I've explained that, we've changed that. I have the pictures for the food that were just taken last night, as a matter of fact, when I said to my client to bring them here in the menu. As far as the dancing, I've explained to him that's not allowed, and he's instructed his people over time to stop anybody who starts dancing, as far as the patrons go.
So you're still gonna apply for the class change after this?
Yes.
He unfortunately did a lot of this with a representative, not an attorney. After it kind of got away from him, he retained me.
Yeah, but he has a long history. He
Absolutely.
paid $20,000 during COVID, and he's not serving food. There's a sustained pattern of noise, and you're telling me that he actually wants to have the privilege of a bar tavern.
Yes, he would like that opportunity. He's also brought in a security company to orchestrate running the place instead of relying on himself and his staff as far as the noise complaints and any type of crowd issues.
What are his hours now?
I'm sorry, I just, that one, four PM to 4 AM. They do last call at 3:30, and stop serving at 3:30.
Sir, I brought you here because you've had a significant history with us. And there's a lot of noise. So you need to serve food or the menu that your lawyer is showing us. It's fine to upgrade to a bar tavern. I'm just telling you. That at this juncture, you need to figure out how to control the crowd. You've had this business since 2006, so I would hate for you to lose it at this time. But if you come back here after the upgrade and it's a lot of noise and there's violence, you're gonna lose the license. Because by that time, we have already taken almost $30,000 from you, and at some point, I have to stop taking money. Okay?
Okay.
So seriously, take it serious, use the security company, come up with a plan. Don't piss off the neighbors.
Seguridad siempre.
Where are you?
Yeah, 10 guys.
So if you're interpreting, we're not hearing what you're saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm just the manager over there, and I'm taking care of the nights, and we already know how managing the place. So we are a security guard company, and also I was going to ask Sansi, when was the complaint about the noise?
That's not for this time.
Okay. So can you tell us what he's saying?
Yes.
Yes. So basically, right now, he's saying that he has that control, and that there is always food at the establishment. So he is gonna work on the noise complaint as well.
All right.
Stop.
All right, for the CNC or for the no contest, what was the Members ready to
I
vote?
would go for 10,000.
I'm at 10,000.
We'd accept 10,000. Thank you.
Thank you. And then you can submit the upgrade.
Yes, I will take care of that right away.
Okay.
All right, next is 1109 Leslie's Classic Wines, Inc.
Good morning, members. Michael James appearing for the applicant. With me is John Gu, who's the sole owner and operator, and then his employee as well, Raina Butler, who can answer questions as well. When I wrote my submission, I did not have before me the gross sales numbers, and now I do. And it's clear from the gross sales that a class change is not only, we're applying for a class change. Obviously, you know that, and alteration. Class change is not only wanted, but most likely needed. It is the smallest store in the area, 200 square feet currently, retail. It will be upgraded to 600, just over 600 square feet. It's the third oldest store in the neighborhood, only selling wines. You purchased it from Leslie, who wanted to do small, quaint
Can I
wine.
ask you a question?
Yes.
So how long have you had the store?
Since he purchased it?
Yeah,
So he went into contract in September
September of what?
last year.
I see. So he's run it since September of last year?
Yes, so
When did
he
he take over?
went into contract September, and I think we were approved October. No, we were approved for the corporate change.
Is that opposition?
I think we have opposition in the back.
Okay,
June of 23.
correct. So he was approved.
And then, but you're applying for a class change and an expansion.
Correct. So it's a class change. In the class change, we are moving from 200 square feet retail to about 400 feet of retail.
Okay.
We do have opposition here.
You had it, I'll step back. So
Yeah, go ahead, let him come up, yeah. Do you want to come up, sir?
Good morning. Thank you for hearing my opposition. My name is Andre Finocchiaro. I'm one of the owners of Greenwood Grape and Still. We're literally 2.5 blocks away from Leslie's. And when we found out that they were submitting for a liquor license, we were asked by the SLA to give in our numbers, and you could see which were submitted. Everything since 2020 has been on a downslope, and we're basically, gross sales have gone down like 10% since then every year. So as the neighborhood is changing and kind of depopulating, to have another competitor suddenly selling liquors and further destroying our sales, and also with other third-party competitors doing deliveries, in a nutshell, it would be very bad for us, and I'm sure for the other stores around, because there are plenty on Fifth Avenue. And as I said, the population where we are, which is 2.5 blocks west on Fourth Avenue, is really shrinking. And from my understanding, the manager here, her name is Ray, she told me that the owner owns a few other stores. So to even fight against this guy's buying power would be a disaster for us. So in a nutshell, I am opposing them from getting that. Thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll first respond to the allegation that he owns other liquor stores. He only owns one. This is his first one. So I'm not sure where.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. He shares the same last name as one of the other stores that I was told that the owner owns. Yan Li Gu, who owns 7th Avenue Wine and Spirits, and Ray previous.
All right, I get it. Thank you.
Okay. Additionally, and I'll continue from our store was licensed in 2012. Greenwood was licensed in 2016. They came 4 years after we were already licensed. Since we were licensed, the authority also licensed Park Slope in 2014, Captain Wines LLC in 2013. So a concept that the owner thought she could take advantage of with just wines now becomes a more competitive environment, Greenwood being one of them. Additionally, there was another store, 761 3rd Avenue, that was licensed by the authority as well. That store has closed down since COVID. It was licensed right before COVID or in the midst of it. And so what we see is even if we were to upgrade, we're just replacing the store that is shut down. It's in 0.5 miles. It's the closest, one of the closest stores and it was on 3rd Avenue. So our sales numbers also indicate that we're not publicly serving us, conveniently serving the public. Our offerings are less than what people may want. Our closest store is Fresh Direct, which is a completely different concept, and their sales numbers are not anywhere close to what a normal mom and pop store reflects. So I would ask that, and my client can speak to this, many people come in and say, we would like wine here. It's a walking community. It's a changing community, as the opposition notes, and it's massively changing. This is Sunset Park. This is not just a few buildings going up. I did submit the real estate listings of just new constructions. There are 25 new construction listed, and they're all 1.5 and above. They're asking. So this is not a neighborhood that is struggling. This is a very affluent neighborhood, developing neighborhood. And the gross sales reflect that this store is not necessarily taking it publicly serving as much as it could be and it should be as licensed.
If I could speak to those gross sales, and I've said this before, but for your benefit, I look at 2019, I discount the COVID years, and then I take whatever figure we have for 2023, and if we have 5 months, I divide that figure by 5 and then multiply by 12 to get an estimate for 2023. When I do that, I see Leslie down significantly, I see Fresh down significantly, I see St. Mark's down slightly, I see Park Slope also down. The only one showing a slight increase is Captain. I'm a little concerned, and maybe you can speak to this, that we have no information about the financing here at all. And I understand that Mr. Gu works as a senior analyst. Is that correct? And so do you have any experience at all in this business?
No, so Rena handles most of it.
So Raina has worked in a previous store before, and he'll be, that's why she's here as well. He'll be leaning on her expertise to run the store. Obviously, it's not the easiest thing to run as your first job, as your first time owning it.
Do you have family members that have other stores?
Yeah, that is his sister.
Yeah, I'm asking him.
Yes, my sister owns
Has how many stores?
one.
And then there's another store? There's a third store?
No, there's.
Not really.
There are two stores. It's this one and that one.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Okay.
All right.
Members ready to vote?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I just want to say a small thing. Mostly this is about the customers asking us. They said that this is kind of like a liquor desert for them. Leslie's has been there for a long time just serving wine. They do have access to the other stores, but just in that direct area, people have asked us if we could try and get the license, which was basically why a lot of this happened.
Can I also speak to using that sort of a metric, and thank you, that metric of just multiplying the first 4 months of the year?
Sure.
Because liquor business
Dividing and
multiply, it may be seasonal, and different areas perform differently. And so I did take a look. I said, let me do it, but we don't have the same sales around Christmas that we have on a random day. It just doesn't work that way. But I understand you're trying to come up with a number.
You have to come up with some
Right,
kind of
but
method. But how come no information about financing provided?
Because we provided that in our corporate change application. So we already, we fully vetted, we went through that process. We were approved, no issue. And there's no opposition from the other stores.
All right, so
I'm sorry.
I think you're aware that there is an advisory out there about new stores that get purchased and subsequent expansion of it. You put yourself in a standard of public convenience and advantage. And I do not find public convenience and advantage and therefore vote to deny.
Commissioner?
I also vote to deny. I don't find public convenience or advantage.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Still got nothing from the community board. Do you want me to have Jonathan try to contact them?
Fine.
I
Or
still
you
got
can
nothing.
just kick it over, tell her that we're just gonna hold it. I mean,
Okay. I'll hold it
it's
over.
not our job. She
Yep.
needs to come with the letter.
Oh, now she's gone.
All right, let's go.
She's back. She's
Let's
back.
keep moving. Just keep call the next one, John.
All right, next is 1128, TOZTON LLC.
My name is Sam Park. I'm the representative.
What are the hours?
The hour is 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and then Thursday to Tuesday, 6-day open. And we are applying for a restaurant wine license. And they have only we're playing the background music right now, and no DJ, no live music, no outside seating right now.
Requesting a waiver of the restroom rule?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna vote to approve 11 p.m. across the board, bathroom waivers, okay, recorded background music only, no private events, no third-party promoter, and application does not need to come to the board.
I also vote to approve.
So then if, I just have a question. So if the main application doesn't get approved, we're gonna keep these
Yes.
same steps.
Thank you.
And for the
Thank-
10, same thing?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you,
All
as
right.
long as they accept.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Next is 1140, 1141, and 1142, 32 Mill LLC, Sydney's Cafe.
Good morning, members of the board. I had submitted both verbally and in writing yesterday a request for an adjournment of these three NOPs in light of a new NOP, which was just provided to me a day or so ago. It's number 166.
You want to go to 1025?
I recommend, if we could, send back to council's office so they can combine it all.
Okay, yeah, go back to council's office. Thank
Gonna
you.
return to council's office and you can work with the prosecutor on like
Mr.
on a deal,
Schwartz?
and then it'll be put on a future full board date.
So I just go to his office from here?
I would recommend sending an email.
Very, very good. Okay, thank
Okay.
you very much.
Yep.
Much appreciated. And my condolences for your loss.
Thank you.
Next is 1113 Steinway Hospitality Corp.
Morning, Robert Swednick for the applicant.
13.
I believe we're here because when I didn't represent the applicant, he put an application in, and there was an issue as to a non-disclosure of a prior disciplinary matter. We have submitted documents to the SLA showing that he was out of that establishment several years earlier, and that that establishment had even been renewing, saying that he was not a principal. So we don't know what happened, but apparently years earlier, he had sold his interest. The attorney for that establishment had him sign the papers for a corporate change. He signed everything and left it. As far as he knew, he wasn't on the license anymore. It got renewed several times after that without him being indicated on the license, and the SLA renewed it. And then when he put in this application, somehow you thought that he still had an interest in it and hadn't disclosed it. So hopefully we've clarified that, and I believe that was the issue, which is why we're here. But if there's any other questions, we'll be happy to respond.
There's no protest here today? I guess no.
Do you know William Elba?
Yes,
And who's that?
he was the previous owner.
And how are you related to him?
Business partners before.
Okay. So how is he still related to this business?
He's not.
So you were business partners before?
In 2013, and
And
he bought me out.
in this particular business that you're
No,
fighting
no,
for
no,
or somewhere
no,
else?
and another one where he had disciplinary actions against him.
That's the one I'm referring to. That's the Don Q one. They were partners in that.
Yes.
He left that basically the following year, and he's not been associated with him since then. And it's nothing to do with this establishment.
Okay, so you're telling me that he doesn't own this?
No, I own this 100%.
Okay. There are allegations that he's still involved. So, but you're telling me that he's not, and I can only take your word for it. But I'm gonna tell you that we're gonna look.
Okay.
Okay? So, don't be offended if a year from now we have an investigator come in asking for your books, because that's the only way I check.
Okay.
And to verify what you're saying to me. But I want to give you the benefit of the doubt and not take some random person writing me a letter trying to go against your right to this business, okay?
Understood.
So if there's something to clean up, I'm gonna, go do it now, between now and actually opening, but we will come check your books a year from now.
Understood.
Okay?
And I would just note that the reason they separated 9 years ago was because of, he didn't like the way that gentleman was operating things, and that's why he pulled out of it then. So,
All of you have a lot of history. I'm just here to mediate. I'm gonna
understand.
trust you. Okay?
Understood.
Because you're telling me he's not involved, okay? So, are you okay?
Yeah, I just have a question. Who's Pauline Janelli?
I think that's Pauline Janelli.
Pauline Janelli.
I don't know.
Who's the owner of the building?
Lucchese, Robert Lucchese. His wife is Pauline, but I don't know if that's her last name. Paula. I thought they would have the same last name, but I don't.
I'll confirm.
That's neither here nor there. I mean, that's a thing, but what are we gonna do? People conviction.
What are your hours?
12 to 4 a.m.
I'm gonna vote to approve DJ recorded music, live jazz, live acoustic only. Is that
Yes.
okay? Okay, live acoustic only, 4 a.m. across the board.
Does the main walk or does the main come back to you?
Oh, no, I don't need the main application.
The main does not.
Yes, yes, yes.
And Commissioner?
I also vote to approve.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Next is 11:15, NYC Wines and Spirits Authority Corp.
Bless you.
Bless you. Robert Swednick again. It's for a liquor store. It's at a location where there was previously a liquor store.
Sorry.
So it's
What?
11:15.
Oh, right. Are you okay with this?
I
It's
am.
replacing a prior store, yeah. I'm gonna vote to approve.
Commissioner?
I will also vote to approve.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm gonna,
And, my condolences for your loss as well.
Oh, thank you. I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you very much.
so calling back up again, 11:14, PICHARDO Junction Restaurant Corp.
Yes.
So I did forward you what Ms. Taveras sent me.
Again?
They got the letter?
This is a letter from 2021.
Oh, good.
Yes.
It's 1 a.m. Prior to closing. Okay.
She gone? Okay.
All right,
No, she's gone.
she's gone.
I read it to him already. He's the one who had it.
Nikki to
And his
interpret?
son is here.
Yeah, Nikki,
She's on her way. Our emergency interpreter.
Nikki, can you just explain to him that his lawyer represented that there was approval for 2 a.m., but we see the letter in writing and it says 1 a.m.
Él dice que su abogado los representó diciéndole que era el cierre hasta las 2 de la mañana, pero ellos lo tienen en escrito que hasta la 1 de la mañana.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Okay, so we're going to give them the approval. I'm going to give you the license for 1 a.m. and last call is 1 hour before that.
Okay. So le van a aprobar, pero lo van a aprobar solamente hasta la 1 de la mañana y la última llamada va a ser 1 hora antes de cerrar.
Okay. Okay? Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you for waiting. So I'm going to vote to approve 1 a.m. across the board. Last call is midnight, recorded music only. No private parties, no third-party promoters.
Commissioner?
I also vote to approve.
Thank you.
And Nikki, just explain to them, this location has a history of noise complaints. I'm not saying it's you. I'm just telling you that there is a history of noise here, so you want to be really careful. Shannon, would you tell Joe to check that availing, please?
Okay, gracias.
All right, thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Next is 11:30, Mekong 88 Inc.
Hi.
Good morning. I'm Tom Del Mastro, representing Mekong.
What are the hours, sir?
11:30 to 9:30.
Okay. I'm sorry you had to come here because there was a COVID cancellation. Are you okay with it? It's a restaurant. It's 11:30.
Do I have the right? Oh,
No, that's the wrong one.
no, okay. 11:30?
Yeah, it's a Asian restaurant in downtown. Restaurant Wine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So I'm going to vote to approve with a bathroom waiver, recorded background music only, midnight across the board, no private events, no third-party promoters.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Commissioner, you
Sorry
voted,
for the long wait.
correct? You
Yes.
voted in the affirmative? Yes. Next is 11:18. It's a declaratory ruling for 795 8th Avenue.
11:18. Okay.
I'm okay.
You okay with that? All right. So this is pretty straightforward as well. I'm going to vote to issue a declaratory ruling allowing address 795 8th Avenue to be considered grandfathered under the 500-foot rule and therefore considered continually licensed and outside of such 500-foot considerations.
I concur.
Can you put your name on the record?
Thank you,
Elliot?
Commissioners. Real quick, I'm reading between the lines, but I think the conditional approval on the ST has been held in abeyance pending the outcome of this hearing, and if that's right, not sure, but I think that's it.
I would send licensing a follow-up email and just say that the declaratory ruling came through. Can I just follow up on the ST?
Thank you very much. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
It's Mr. Paludas, right? Okay, yes. No, that's okay. Next is 11:10, LUXOR NY LLC, LUXOR.
Can you take a look at that one, maybe issue it if.
Sure. Yeah, that's my question.
Okay.
Question.
Good morning, members of the authority, once again. This is a request for a change in hours and method of operation for the establishment. Luxor New York LLC, DBA Luxor, 3775 West 203rd Street in Manhattan. I'm here with the owner, Juan Goris.
Good morning, everyone.
So, the request is to go to 4 AM, right? The letter I see is approving 1 AM Sunday to Thursday, 2 AM Friday, Saturday.
That was a old letter. That was my first time around when I opened the
You
establishment.
have the other letter that says?
I have it
Yeah.
here.
You have that letter? Oh, what is it? I see.
These stipulations I have.
Ah, I see. 3 to 3:30.
That
Okay,
was
great.
on March 3rd.
Okay, great. All right, so I am, and that's it. It's just the hours, right? Is there anything else? Okay, so I'm gonna vote to approve Monday to Wednesday, 3 AM, Thursday to Sunday, 3:30.
Can you repeat that again, Commissioner?
It's Monday to
Chairman?
Wednesday, 3 AM,
Mm-hmm.
Thursday to Sunday, 3:30.
Perfect.
And Commissioner?
Just so you know, Mr. Tavares, in your letter, you reversed it. You put Sunday to Thursday. It's actually Thursday to Sunday.
Did I?
But in the letter they wrote, it's accurate.
And if there's no issue here with the address, we don't address the address today, the endorsement of the, we don't have a.
That's probably a separate application.
I don't think that's in
Yeah.
front of us.
We'll come next time for that, so we have to
Okay.
work on the endorsement. Thank you.
Commissioner,
ma'am.
you're
I also vote to approve.
Thank you.
You want that letter?
Take it so you know me.
Yeah, take it.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep, thank you.
And next is 1122 Exotic Lounge Inc.
Oh, that's.
That was the one yeah.
I just wanted to adjourn this for next board so I could have the licensee here.
Sure, 10-4.
Thank you.
And Commissioner?
And
Yes.
for, I agree.
Okay.
All right. Is that it?
Nope. Next is 1133 Jimmy Liquors or Straight Path Liquors Corp. And I still have another. Sorry.
What number, Tom?
It's 1133.
Hey.
Yes. This is the Straight Path Liquor.
Yes, Neil Trivedi for the.
Yeah, so what's going on with your store?
He has put the inventory and is ready to open. And he's actually opening, it's actually operating right now.
It's now open?
So it's open.
It's open?
It's open, it was so hot in there, we couldn't operate.
The AC wasn't working during the July month, so he had closed it down. He was looking to get
Okay,
funds.
there is somebody who's watching you real close, okay? So you gotta open the store.
Okay.
I'm gonna dismiss this.
Okay.
Because I don't want you to pay me for, I don't know what. I don't
Yeah,
know what
right.
the problem is. You're obviously there, but they're saying you're not operating.
Yeah, it was a little hot, it was too hot inside.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna dismiss
it wasn't
this.
working.
All right, I'm sorry you had to come down here.
Yeah, okay.
But I hope it was worth the while.
Okay, cool.
Commissioner?
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I concur with the chair. You have to be open though. Okay. You're on notice then.
Yeah, at this point, you gotta be running, okay?
All
Thank
right.
you, though.
Okay,
that's
Thank
one.
you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Next
Even
is
if you can't open all the time, sir, just put some hours, be open for a few hours each day. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't look close, okay?
maybe at night if it gets too hot.
Yeah, or at night.
Yeah, like open at night. 1144 BOLLA Operating LI Corp.
Yeah, that's fine.
Gas stations.
So it's my appearance, Neil Trivedi for BOLLA Operating LI Corp.
All right. You
I
didn't
mean-
get me the whole chain?
I'm sorry?
You didn't get me the whole chain? It's okay.
Little bit at a time.
Yeah, I appreciate, no, I see the effort. I appreciate it. I'll take it.
How much time? Because it's not.
No, I said that if the location gets a second violation, first time, then if it's a second violation, he will get the card reader.
What I read was.
When you have 180 locations, it
Right.
takes time.
You know, I think some of these scanner registers cost as little as $200 and some as high as $1,000. And then there are versions even higher than that, right? So it's a wide spectrum. But even at $1,000, and if you have 180 stores, that's $180,000. I get it. That's not money to sneeze at. But an operation this big, it's
Isn't that
kind of
sometimes they get
significant.
charged per scan? It's like they have the technology and then every
be.
scan.
It's the monthly payment and
Could be,
what
could
they,
be.
what it is, that's what it is.
But you did say in the letter that you wanted time to install scanners at all locations, but you didn't say how much time.
No, I did say that in the event of any of the locations receive second violation for the sale of minor at the premises, BOLLA will be willing to install a scanner. That's my second point.
I could bring it up if I need to. That's
No,
what I read.
It says in the event of any other location receiving second violation for sale of minor at the premises, they will install an age scanner. This will just give them little time as you know, they process it. That's all.
Okay.
This will allow BOLA some time to have age scanner to be installed at all the locations of BOLA.
Well, assuming that any location is having some issues.
Right.
Yeah. Which we don't anticipate because we have this gentleman giving training, hiring bar programs, and that's the goal.
Well, you certainly had a few violations, sales to minors.
All right.
Like I said,
What do you
Mr.
wanna
Chair,
do?
earlier, if there's anything you can suggest that we do, I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
And this bars program, what's that?
That is a program that we hire an outside third-party agency that goes and checks for underage purchases. They have nothing to do with the company. We hire them, they go out, we pay them a fee. So twice a month, they'll go out to the location. We've used them for cigarettes in the past.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
selling cigarettes.
Yeah.
And now we've been using them for alcohol as well. So they will go in and do the same stinging operation as the city agencies would do. But this way, we will be alerted to know right away, and take action before something more serious.
Okay.
Is that gonna be done randomly?
Well, we specifically put that site for twice a month. It's done randomly. It's not.
Is it all throughout New York State?
We only have New York City and
Is it only,
Long
I thought I
Island.
read that you had places in New York and New Jersey.
New Jersey, New York City, and Long Island.
Oh, okay,
We
so
don't
is it
have-
gonna be all throughout New York City and Long Island?
We don't have it in Jersey. We have.
No,
it-
just New York City and Long Island, the bars
Yes.
program.
Yes.
So for the vote, you're voting to reconsider?
Yes, I will reconsider.
I agree.
And do you want to accept what they provided to us?
Yes, I'll accept 25,000 with the scanner at this location and scanners when there is a second sale to minor. I will accept that
And the
corporate
whole
policy and change.
bars program twice per month?
Yes.
Et cetera, like all the things in their letter?
Yes, please. Thank you.
And Commissioner?
Same for me.
And in addition to this, I spoke to the owner of the company, and he said that, God forbid this should happen again, we're gonna, sponsor or donate to organizations like DARE program or a Mothers Against Drunk Driving, those kind of nonprofits, to show that, we don't want this to happen. We're hoping that the people who do make this offense get arrested, and they do. They get arrested, they go to court, they plead their case, and they're found guilty. And unfortunately, we have to pay.
Yeah, especially for gas stations that might be on a throughway or a highway or something like
Yes.
that. Nobody needs that.
Right.
All right. Thank you. We'll reach out to you when we have those programs.
All right, thank you.
Further along.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right, and next is 1103 ANAGAP Restaurant, Inc. I think Mr. Flynn's gonna close us out today.
can you flag that guy's name on compliance?
Good morning. Terrence Flynn on behalf of the licensee. This is an offer of compromise to resolve the charges.
What number, sorry?
1103.
3,000? Yeah, I'll take 3,000.
I'm okay with that also.
Yeah, 6 a.m. This guy is always open very late, so.
He's been warned.
All right, next is 1127, JP Canes Inc.
Thank you for putting this matter open as I couldn't be here at the last meeting. I've been in touch with Mr. Buckley from counsel's office. There's a companion case, case number 165728 that I've already responded on. I just asked that the default be reopened so both cases could be dealt with at the same
I'll send
time.
this to counsel's office.
This is 1127?
Yeah.
Return to counsel's office.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you very much.
And then 1105, 1106, and 1107, it's Amigos Astoria Inc.
Same appearance. This is a offer of compromise to resolve the charges in these matters. The licensee has agreed to close the doors at all times during hours of operations and shut the rear door, use a sound limiter device, clean the sidewalk and clear it at the end of each night, and open the lines.
Why don't you come back with your client next time?
That's fine.
311 calls in 2 weeks.
Over to October 4th.
And a sound limiter of some sort, Mr. Flynn, that's not sufficient at all.
Okay.
So.
So have it over to the next meeting to bring the client.
Yeah, and
Yes.
maybe just present a better game plan of what they're doing in writing, because this is a young license.
Yeah, definitely have that in writing.
No problem, and that'll have to be submitted before the
I've
date.
never
No
seen
problem.
640 calls in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's what the letter said. I don't know, maybe the numbers, you look at the text.
It's 2 years, it's over 2 years. I went through the 311 calls and I'll gladly respond to all of them when I put the written submission in. But a great many of those were found as unfounded, but I will put that all together for you at the next meeting.
Yeah, I do know there's a business out there on that, and I'd like to get some more.
Not a problem. I'll bring the licensee as well.
Thank you.
Have a very nice weekend. Take care.
Take care.
10-4.
10-4.
All right, let's go.
All right, Jonathan, that's it. No one else, right? I got really excited when I said that. All right, Jonathan. 1101 is a no contest default at pleading.
I'm at 2,000.
Wow. Okay, principal arrested. Said the case was ACD. He has another matter on that he hasn't reported. He's failed to provide a certificate of disposition on. Want to hold over and bring, without knowing what happened there.
He has a pending.
I don't know, Shannon, did you look at that? Yeah, I think.
It says here, has another matter supposed to be disposed of on 6/2/22. Failed to provide certificate of disposition.
I think it's the same.
Did not report arrest on renewal application executed on January 17th, 2023.
So my impression was that he told us in an email it was an ACD, but by letter, contempt. And then his position was going to be 6, but 3 months later must be a domestic. Said on 10/24/22, that was the email date, that on 6/2/22 would be the disposition, so if no new arrests, and it's disposed, it's closed, sealed.
Right.
But failed to provide that information. Notify of arrest.
Had a lot of failed to follow court orders and failed to report things. And
So, do you want to talk quickly? Can we have a really quick conference with council?
Sure.
All right, we're going to go off the record to conference with council. We'll be back on shortly.
Okay, here we go.
sorry.
All right, we're back on the record after a conference with council.
All right, so 11:01, we're gonna hold this over until 10:04.
Over to 10-4, do you want
Clarify
the person to appear or just to
Disposition
clarify?
Of a criminal case.
Does the,
No, no.
Clarify.
I don't think so. We'll check again.
We usually notify them anyway, but
Yeah, but it's a default.
okay, that's true.
They didn't come today either.
Yeah.
Let's notify them, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Next is 11:02. It's an offer of 10,000.
Where are you at? You okay? Okay, I'll accept 10,000.
And Commissioner, you said you were okay?
Yes.
11:08 is an offer of 7,500.
I'll accept 7,500.
That's fine.
11:12 is a new on-premises wine license application.
Surprised they didn't come.
Jesmere Corp.
Third attempt, yeah.
I'm okay with it. Oh, are you okay with it? Or you want to come? Restaurant wine.
Right, there's no, I asked about this, apparently it's not an issue, right? If it's just wine?
It's not
Yeah,
So
right.
you feel fine?
I'm okay.
Okay, so
One thing that is silly, but just for the record purposes, no relation to you, Juan Herrera, right? Just making sure for the record. I knew it wasn't, but.
you're quietly applying for licenses. Okay, so I'm gonna vote to approve recorded music only 1 a.m. across the board.
I agree.
Next is 11:16. It's an offer of 3,000.
I'll accept 3,000.
I'm okay. 3,000.
11:17 is a default at pleading.
There's 7 events.
Yeah, what do you?
Certified mail returned unclaimed.
Where are
Fist
you
fight.
with in terms of number?
I was at C and B.
Oh, shit. Oh, wow, okay.
I mean, you got 7 incidents going back to June 2019, July 2020.
All right, I'm with you. You want to just go cancel on
And
bond?
then one person got stabbed to the stomach.
Okay,
So what was that? So cancel and bond?
cancel on bond.
And Commissioner, of course, yes. 11:20 is a default at pleading.
6,500.
I agree.
11:21 is an offer of 5,500.
5,500.
I agree.
11:23 is an offer of 8,500.
8,500.
Commissioner,
I agree.
11:24 is an offer of 6,500.
6,500.
I agree.
11:25 is an offer of cancel and bond.
Cancel on bond.
I agree.
11:26 is an offer of 6,000.
6,000.
Commissioner.
Yep, I'm getting there. Yep, I agree.
So 11:31, Ms. Becker asked for another adjournment to October 4th. They're still working with
Sure.
enforcement and council office.
Yep, October 4.
Commissioner.
I agree.
11:34, 11:35, 11:36, and 11:37. So this is an offer of 10,000. They requested an adjournment to November 28 as the attorney has ongoing court matters.
11:28.
I agree.
Yeah. Buying time.
Yep. Commissioner, you okay
And
with
then
that?
it's gonna be after holidays before they come. At least they know what's happening.
So 11:38 is an offer of 5,000. The licensee rep requests an adjournment to October 25th.
October 25th, okay.
And I agree.
So 11:39, this is an offer of 5,000. We also received a request. What was that?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, what They want to combine things, right?
Yeah, so
Combine
I was
charges.
going to say, there's new charges being filed today, I believe.
So going back to counsel's office.
Yeah,
And
that
they
sounds
had
good.
asked for, to put it over, is that right?
Yeah, they asked for the end of the year, but that's better for me. 'Cause, return to
Oh,
CO.
Jesus.
So return to counsel's office.
People get smart. Everybody have the same strategy.
Commissioner, you're okay
Presumably
with
that
that, right?
wasn't the same lawyer who was
I don't think so.
requesting.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
So 11:45, this is a default of pleading. This was held over from last meeting.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how
The
this
rest
case
is
was
sealed.
resolved.
So enforcement contacted the court and it was sealed.
Okay, so can we do 2,000?
It was sealed? So
It was sealed.
it was a Class B felony.
The
What,
disposition is it was sealed.
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's fine.
2,000.
2,000? Commissioner, you said that's okay?
That's fine.
11:46 is an offer of 3,000.
I'm gonna accept 3,000.
That's fine.
11:47 is an offer of 6,500.
6,500.
That's fine.
And 11:47A is a proposed advisory on temporary retail permits.
I'm
okay with it.
This particular advisory will allow licensing to now receive applications for renewal of temporary permits on a 30-day cycle, and you can apply for three 30-day cycles at any given time. So, yeah, so you can apply for one 30-day or two 30 days or three 30 days. The way we're framing it this way is because of the costs. There is no 90-day renewal, it's three 30-day renewals, and you can send us 3 checks at the same time. This will allow our agency to significantly cut down our renewal paperwork and allow our processing times to continue to be decreased. And so if you have any questions about this new change, feel free to reach out to licensing. And we hope that all the users will be in support of this change.
And I would like to just to point out, so I would like to make just a small edit. Our chief of staff pointed it out. So where it talks about the fees for the extensions, right now it says filing fees. He pointed out that under the law, it's not filing fees for the extensions, it's just fees. So I'm just going to remove the filing from
The
the
fees are non-refundable,
non-refundable. that's correct.
Non-refundable.
right?
Yeah.
And the ST permit may still be canceled or suspended.
Yes.
And they can still request additional extensions up to 15 days after an expiration. Is that it, Lois?
Yes, they can still, everything that is in place now. Yep.
That's from
Except for
before,
it's
yeah.
just it's
Right,
bundling
yeah,
the
yeah, I'm not
extensions. Yep.
aware. That's good. Okay, I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
And I have nothing else. Chair, do you have anything?
No, I do not. Thank you very
All right,
much.
Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.